San Diego veteran once tortured and imprisoned by the Iranian regime says he's hopeful after learning of the killing of Iran's leader. ABC 10 News first began reporting on Michael White's story in 2019 after he was detained in Iran while trying to visit his fiancée. Nearly 2 years later, he would be released in a prisoner swap during President Trump's first term. Tonight, ABC 10 News reporter Michael Chen follows through as he voiced his frustrations about the peace deal.
In January, former political prisoner Michael White wrote this letter to President Trump, the man he owes his freedom to, asking him to help topple the Iranian regime and to help the Iranian people. Some 5 months later, this proposed peace agreement sparking frustration.
Is it fair to say this agreement stirs up emotions for you?
Absolutely.
With reports of a deal ending the war in Iran, White sharing his feelings on the impact of the agreement.
Disappointment primarily, frustration.
A far different feeling in early March, days after the war began and after news of the death of the Iranian leader.
I was elated.
ABC 10 News began following White's story in 2019 after Iran acknowledged he was being detained. Months earlier, after completing treatment for lymphoma, he flew from San Diego to Iran to visit his fiancée, whom he had met online. During a ride with a tour guide, he was taken into custody.
They didn't bring me any food, no water, nothing. For the first 3 days I was there.
White was beaten.
And he takes a whip and snaps me on my toes.
Tortured and forced to write up fake confessions about being a spy. He was later convicted of charges including insulting the supreme leader and sentenced to a decade in prison. Nearly 2 years later, White was released as part of a prisoner swap before meeting President Trump. Fast forward to this year when he submitted this letter to the White House, asking the president to help push out the regime for security interests and for the Iranian people.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how brutal is this regime?
I would say 10.
White says he became close to many Iranians before, during, and after his imprisonment.
And they're disappointed in the near term. They really are. They felt that President Trump let them down after encouraging them to rise up. My fear would be that that oppression will continue and perhaps tighten.
White, who remains a Trump supporter, hoping the president will not give up on the idea of regime change.
Covert efforts to try to help arm and empower the Iranian people to eventually take over. Well, as long as this regime is in power, they're a threat.
Michael Chen, ABC 10 News.